Morning, Gaffer.
Morning, Ginger.
You know you got a dent in your front door.
Oh, it's an hit-and-run dent. When I can't get the engine running, that's where I hit it.
Good morning, my lord.
You what?
Oh, it's you.
Oh, is the Gaffer not in yet?
Oh, I can't think where he's got to. It's not even as if it's Friday and he's got a wages check to sign.
Oh, well, I'll just wait then. I've got nothing better to do. Morning, Gaffer.
Oh, my God. You look like a honeymooner's hammock.
Betty, excuse me. Can you get a silencer for that thing?
Why, is something wrong?
Yes. I'm not completely satisfied with life, and I think I want a refund. Does anybody know the antidote to a thick head? I don't even know the dote.
Do I hear the plaintive call of the late-night reveller? What's the occasion this time?
I'm celebrating the end of my last hangover.
If you keep on drinking like that, you're going to start putting on weight.
Harry, I was born fat. It's all right for you. I'm being driven to drink by a nagging relative of the feminine gender and have to walk back, usually on my hands and knees.
Oh, mother-in-law trouble again.
No, mother-in-law trouble still.
All right. Tell Auntie Betty and Uncle Harry what happened.
Well, she started boasting about how she'd saved 10p on the butter and 8p on the washing powder and another 10p on the toothpaste. And I'm afraid I rather upset her.
Why? What did you do?
Knocked her 27p off the housekeeping money.
But you really do ask for trouble. You know, I think your mother-in-law should get a commission from a landlord of the Red Cow.
Yeah, well, knowing her, she probably does. Oh, I wish my liver would leave off lunging at me lights.
Oh, I'm surprised the Friends of the Earth haven't picketed you the way you will treat your body. What exercise do you do, apart from twice round your pint pot on a pogo stick?
Oh, it takes umbrage 3 times a day.
Could you two just keep it down to a dull roar? I'm pushing 59. That's enough exercise for anybody.
Well, keep on like you are and you'll be over the hill by 60.
Yeah, well, that'll suit me. I can freewheel the rest of the way.
Hey, you could try jogging.
No, I couldn't. I get more exercise writing letters of condolence to joggers' widows.
Ah, yes, I think you're going to need a little bit of condolence yourself. There's another letter from the tax inspector.
Oh, not again. New readers start here. You won't have missed much. What do you want this time?
What else? He needs more money.
You know, if he stopped sending me so many reminders, he'd save more than he would get, even if I would be able to afford what he wanted.
You can tell him if he wants money from you, then he can get to the back of a very long queue.
By the way, may I ask what you're supposed to be doing in here? I mean, apart from the old union rule of not allowing work to get in the way of your job.
Just waiting.
Betty, I think we'll have double yellow lines painted round this office. I shall be glad when the TUC have another day of action. It would be nice to see you doing something.
Listen, that pulley wheel in there is jammed and I couldn't find a penetrating oil.
It is in the stores cupboard and it's shaped like a damn great hammer. By the way, I thought you lot were supposed to have brushed up out there.
We did! You could eat off that floor.
Only if you fancy cockroach butties. Anyway, you better start whitewashing the walls in the factory and make a better job of it than you did of my car brakes. When I put them on, the only thing that stops is my heart.
Just you hang on. We are craftsmen, you know.
Yes, unlikely to be unemployed craftsmen. You know the agreement, Harry. And at the moment, we are sure to have worked at the complaints department in the parachute factory.
Of course, provided we get adequate recompense for special skills.
Oh, dear, here we go. I wonder how long it will be before the extension of the backhand set in. Look, how much special skill do you need to slosh a load of whitewash over everything? Politicians are doing it every day.
Yeah, but we would have to clean down the walls first.
I thought you said you were a craftsman, Harry. You paint over the dust to stop it flying up and sticking over the paint.
Yeah, but we've got dust and muck in our hair. Now listen, unless we get adequate recompense, we are declaring that whitewash black. And you, do not try to fiddle that bonus.
What was that all about, then?
It was all about the fact that I'd promised them a flexibility bonus and they'd do 1 or 2 small maintenance jobs while we're slack. And of course, Harry jumped at it. He's never been able to see further than the edge of a pound note. But now all of a sudden he's wondering just what I'm up to.
Along with the other 1,000,000,000,000 in the human race. All except me, of course, because you are going to tell me, aren't you?
It is very simple, Betty. So simple even you would understand it. As you know, at the moment, the only job we've got are those fan shafts of Robinson's. And the only person who can do them fast enough to make them pay is Charlie. So I don't want to put the other lads on them. But the other lads would get very upset if I sent them home knowing that Charlie was working flat out.
Well, that sounds to me a bigger twist than a Rubik Cube.
Oh. Oh.
Charlie? What's it then, Charlie? A little drama coming in our lives? What's the matter? Hey, you not damaged one of the machines on your hand, have you? Has Harry said 1 or 2 rude Scottish words to you then? Is there any chance of your head going up and down through a change? All right, Charlie, come on. What's wrong?
It's Mary, my girl. She's gone off.
Yes, well, of course they do if you haven't got a fridge.
She said I didn't love her as I should do. I don't know what to do. You've got to do something, Gaffer. You've got to help me.
What do you want me to do? Draw a diagram? Too damned old to do hotels. Look, stop sniffing, Charlie. People will think you're on something. Now, I mean, look, women never mean what they say, do they? I mean, look at my missus. She's been at me for years to buy her a mink, and now I've got her one. She don't know how to feed the damn thing. Does it? Hey! Come on now, come on, lad. Come on. Pull yourself together. Come on. Come on, imagine you're a pair of curtains. Come on. Hey. You get that? Joking, Dave. Oh, for God's sake, Charlie. You better go and fetch a mop and bucket, I think. Look, just, I'm going to get very angry with you. Why don't you just get in the factory, forget all about it, and get cracking on those fan shafts for Robinson's?
But I can't, Gaffer. My mind's in a turmoil. I feel like going and chucking myself in the canal.
Don't talk damn daft. Robinson's would never forgive me. Why don't we just analyse the situation? Now, why do you think that Mary doesn't think you love her?
Well, she said if I really loved her, I'd have helped her brother Bert to find a job.
What, bad back Barker, the Bupa reject?
Since we packed up working together, he hasn't been able to find anything. And Mary said it was my fault.
Yes, well, of course, she could be right.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, let's face it, you've never even been in to ask me if I'd contemplate having him back in here again, have you?
Well, you'd really have him back, Gaffer?
What, for the man who's going to do those shafts for Robinson's faster than wagging tongues at a white wedding?
Oh, I will, Gaffer. You know, there isn't anything I wouldn't do for you, Gaffer. Just say the word.
Yes, well, the word at the moment is chair, so get your Harris out of it and get it in the factory.
Right, Gaffer. Right. Just stand by the fire extinguishers, Betty, in case that lathe bursts into flames.
Here endeth the first crisis of the day. Let's hope there's not a queue.
Did I hear you right? You offered to employ Bad Back Barker?
In action man himself. Otherwise known as nasal spray, because he's a little squirt who gets up people's noses.
After all the trouble we had last time? Aren't you worried it'll happen again?
Betty, you only worry when you haven't got a choice. How else could I get Charlie back into first gear? And in any case, I only said that I would offer Bad Back Barker a job. Whether he accepts it or not is an entirely different matter.
You're up to your tricks again, aren't you?
Up to me, how many times you have to be told? I do not get up to tricks. But when you're in business, you have to take one or two precautions. As that great French General Napoleon once said, it does not matter how many cannon you have if the horse wee-wees on your gunpowder. You nearly became your own half-sister.
I don't know what you're doing, but someone has spilt oil or grease or something under the mat in the passageway. I nearly went all my length.
Correction, Betty. Somebody has spilled oil and grease under the mat of the passageway. The workforce and Harry have been informed.
Well, I wish I'd been. And may I venture to ask what all this is in aid of?
Bad back Barker. It's about time he told the truth about having a bad back.
I might have known that something was amiss when I saw you here before me. I mean, it's just not like you to be an early bird.
No, well, I can always make the effort if there's a worm I despise enough.
Morning, Frederick the Great. How's the blonde bombshell?
It's not the original intravenous drip.
Somebody has spilt a load of oil or grease under that mat in the passage. It's a good job my injuries make me tread carefully.
Yes, isn't it? We shall have to do something about that, Betty. Somebody's going to have an accident. Still suffering from Skyver's colic, I see.
Oh, yeah, it's the old scrons joint, Chief. You know, right behind the lower crotex.
Let's see, bad back. Now, which leg was it you were having the trouble with?
Which leg was it last time?
Let me see. I think it depended on whether you were coming or going.
Yeah, well, it moved around a lot, you know.
Yes, well, seeing as you don't, the best idea is to stand where you are and catch it on the way back. Why don't you sit down? Chuck yourself in that chair.
Oh, thanks.
Betty, do you know that pamphlet is?
What pamphlet?
That pamphlet.
Oh, that pamphlet.
Yeah, well, of course that pamphlet. You don't think I was talking about another one?
Mr. Barker's not sitting on it, is he?
Ah, could be. Stand up a minute, bad back. No, it's not there. Sit down again. Go on. It's not my day.
Right then, Chief. What's the game?
Game?
Yeah, these threatening messages you've been sending via Charlie about how if I'm not careful, you're going to try and get me working back here. I mean, I've got all my friends at the Social Security to think of, you know. My unemployment is their life's work.
Yes, well, we'll try to arrange a suitable transfer fee.
Yeah, then there's me collection of doctors' sick notes. I mean, I can't stop now. I'm only one off me set.
It would seem to me, Badbeck, from what you're saying, you don't really want the job. Well, that would be a weight off my wallet. So if you'd rather go into the workshop, see Charlie, tell him that I did actually offer you the job, but you don't want it, right?
Yeah, but hang on a minute, Chief. I mean, I didn't exactly say that. It might not be a bad idea. You see, I've got my sister on me back to get a job. Oh, she's always on at me. You've no idea what it's like to be nagged at from morning till night by a woman.
No doubt. I shall get prizes for it.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Chief. I'll give this place one more chance. Provided there are no strings attached.
No, there'll just be the one with the noose at the end of it. Listen, if you think you're coming back here skiving about like you did last time, you've got another thing coming. You are not coming here making out that you were allergic to good health.
Oh, come on, Chief. I always brought in a sick note.
Yes, always the same one. It just said this man has everything. Right, if you want work, friend, I'll show you some work. I'll be with you in a minute, Betty. Right, come on.
I never touched him, love, honest. He skidded on the mat, shot down a corridor like tripping down a drain pipe. I think you better phone an ambulance.
And a half you stick that. Ooh.
Hello. You all right? You've been lying awfully still.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people think I normally do it awfully standing up. We're not in a pyramid, are we?
No. No, the city hospital.
What did you do? Ask a Gordon Islander for the last waltz. We'll be back.
How are we feeling then?
Huh? Oh, let's just say I don't think it'd be much use you getting in with me. Oh.
I just have to fill in some details on your entry card. Full name?
Frederick Moffat.
Is that 1 F or 2?
No, 3. 1 in Fred and 2 in Moffat.
Address?
37 Balmoral Way. And from the rates up here, I think it's one of the ways that the Lord moves mysteriously.
Next of kin?
Anybody who'll own up, I say. Yeah, put the wife.
And what religion are you?
Lapsed heathen.
C of E.
I say, would you like to read the menu? There's one on your locker.
I don't think I'll bother. It's probably all cooked in that polysaturated fat.
What's that?
Parrot grease. They use it in these places, you know, because they're short of money in the National Health. Same with the injections. I mean, they still give you them, but they don't put out in them. They call it acupuncture. Oh, dear. Do you know my back goes clunk, click every trip? Harry. Ginger. Hey, shouldn't you be doing those fan shafts to Robinsons? I hope you lot clocked off before you came round.
This is official business. The lads and I would like to know what is wrong with you.
It's his back.
Is that right? How do you know when you're talking to the right end of Tutankhamun?
I don't know. Probably watch which end they stick the food in. Oh, my back's killing me.
Ah, come on, Gaffer. Bad back is the oldest gag on the shop floor.
Look, what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gaffer. If I say I've got Lothario's ligament, who are you to say different?
Right. From now on, there is a picket line round this bed for the rest of visiting hours. No bedpan or bottle crosses it. We'll very soon prove that you're faking.
Yeah, knowing you, I bet you'll let 1 or 2 enemas in. Look, be reasonable. I can't afford that bonus until Charlie's finished that job for Robinson.
Bonus? That's not what we're on strike about. No, we're protesting because you put a woman in charge of us and you're just lying back in here taking it easy.
I know, well, I mean, I know you sometimes can't see her for smoke, but Betty's not all that bad.
Who's talking about Betty?
Yes, who is talking about Betty? And what's wrong with him anyway?
He's twisted himself.
Well, he's practiced long enough on other people.
Hey, you! Do not cross the picket line.
Who's crossing it? I'm joining it. That is a claim against unfair dismissal.
I wish to God you watch where you're putting it, Bessie. You nearly dismissed me twice. Who's dismissed you?
Your mother-in-law, Mrs. Petty. As the last shareholder on her feet, she marched in and took over.
Aye, and she stripped me of all my privileges just for demanding new piecework rates.
And she suspended me when a chap next door complained about me and his wife.
Yes, well, man does not live by bed alone, Ginger. I know they say love thy neighbour, but you're not supposed to do it when thy neighbour's husband can catch thee.
You do realise that she started spring cleaning the works.
What's she doing the dusting with, a shovel?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't crochet pelmets for the machines.
All right. I promise to take her daughter for better or worse, but not for this. Come on, lads. Help me out and get dressed. I better go back to the works and sort it out. Betty, turn your head away. This is not going to be a pretty sight. Hey, what are you two going to do? Make a wish. Put me down. sell a sheet onto this place? Looks like a Barnsley bordello on a week's week.
Hey, Gaffer, what's that funny smell?
Probably fresh air.
No, it smells.
I'm not talking about the real stuff, I'm talking about the stuff you buy. You have to make it smell so you know when the can's empty.
Hey, she's only taken down me pictures of birds and put up pictures of birds.
Hey, Gaffer, look. Tissues, tissues.
If you could think I'm going to say all fall down, you've got another thing coming.
What are we going to do with these tulips?
I'm going to tiptoe through. Look, I think I'll get in the car and go round and see Mrs. Petty and sort this lot out. All right.
You can't, Gaffer.
Oh, yes, I can.
Oh, no, you can't.
Have you just been to see a pantomime?
No, but you can't. Mrs. Petty's just driven off in your car.
Mrs. Petty's what?
Yeah, she saw me as I was coming out the loo, and she told me to tell you that she's taking the company car to go shopping.
I warned you about leaving the keys in the ignition, Gaffer.
That was to get it stolen, not borrowed. In any case, it is not a company car. It belongs to the finance people.
You must have paid for that heap of junk by now.
Oh, no, I haven't. As soon as it's paid for, I have to stick it back on the nod so I can afford to pay for all the things that need doing to it.
Well, don't just stand there doing nothing but stand there. What are you going to do?
We, Harry, are going to stop her from coming into the works because repossession is 9 points of the mother-in-law. I'm going to suggest a joint management and union picket line. Those in favour? Unanimous, come on. Here she comes. All right, lad, stand firm. Stand firm. Don't worry, lad, she's only trying to frighten us. Harry, those brakes you were supposed to...
I had a feeling in my water you'd be back, Mr. Moffat.
Yeah, well, you should have had it analysed. You'd have known for certain.
Does your back still hurt you?
I wouldn't know for the pains I've got everywhere else.
Hey, Gaffer, at least we've saved you some money. We won't have to take time off work to come and visit you now. We're already here.
Hey, who do we see about claiming compensation?
It's just like a works outing us all being here at the same time, isn't it, Gaffer?
Yeah, I never thought about that. Thank you, Charlie. As from now, you're all officially on a fortnight's holiday.
Doesn't trust the politicians to the left and to the right, because they're all the same in office when they make it overnight. Resents the time he spends on paperwork and VAT. Keeps the money that the taxman doesn't see.